few months ago, I read a book called Atomic Habits that's about how to develop good habits and get rid of bad ones. I read quite a few sort of self-improvement, productivity type books, and this one's had more of an impact than most, I would say. So I thought I'd do a little video about how I've improved my morning routine and how it's helped me throughout my life. I've always got up early and I've always liked waking up and getting up early. I think when you've got kids in particular, when they're awake, they can be quite all-consuming. So it's nice having a little bit of time to yourself where you can just do what you want to without having to cater to other people. I call this time Robbie Hour. Every Robbie Hour is different. They're not necessarily an hour in length. They can vary. And some days I'll do sort of useful things like tidy the kitchen, or I might play a computer game, or I might do some exercise, or just chill out, enjoy a coffee and relax. But there's not really been any formal structure to it. So I started thinking to myself, how can I make this time more productive and get the best possible start to the day? I've always been interested in how little changes to your life can improve your overall life when you add them all together. I was lucky enough a few years ago to interview Sir Dave Brailsford, who was the performance director of British Cycling and the head of Team Sky when they were winning the Tour de France all the time. And he's famous for his marginal gains philosophy, the idea of which was that if you take all these little minor things that can improve things fractionally, when you add them up all together and over time, it becomes quite a big advantage or a big boost to you. I remember him, when I was interviewing him talking about how during the Tour de France, you can't choose what hotel you go to. There's not necessarily enough 5-star hotels everywhere for all the teams, so they have to rotate where they are. So some days you might be on more comfortable beds than others, and you're not allowed to break out of that. You can't go and just get your own hotel or anything. You have to stay in those hotels. So what they decided to do was, well, we can't control that, but we can control the mattress. They got the ideal mattress for each one of their riders, and they'd carry these mattresses around France. I mean, I presume they had a van or something. I don't think they just left them behind them. But they'd take these mattresses around France, and whenever they got into a hotel, they'd replace the mattress in the hotel with this rider's ideal mattress. I also remember reading a bit where he was talking about how they got a surgeon in to teach the riders how to wash their hands the most efficient way and the most thorough way, thinking if they can just slightly reduce the chance of them contracting a cold, it means they're going to be able to train more and be fitter and have that little advantage in that respect. And I found it very interesting, and I found him quite an inspiring man, if I'm honest. So the book I read is basically this sort of concept that you can make little changes that have a big overall effect. And I decided to start with my morning routine because it's the sort of part of the day that I've always got to myself. I can do what I want at that time. It's not going to impact my family in any way. And the results have been amazing. It's made me much more productive, much healthier, and pretty much happier. I find it a lot easier to have a good productive day and stick to my habits when I've had a good night's sleep. And I've spent the last few years trying to improve my sleep hygiene and my sleep environment. And part of that for me is by buying a good mattress. And that's where our video sponsor, Emma Sleep, comes in. I bought my first Emma Sleep mattress about 5 years ago. And when I make a big purchase like that, I'm the kind of person who does quite a lot of research. I read all the reviews, and I saw positive reviews. I saw they'd won a lot of awards, but what really piqued my interest was that Emma offer a 200-day money-back guarantee for you to try the mattress out in your own home. If you don't like it, send it back, no questions asked. My original Emma Sleep mattress is still going strong, and I've actually begun replacing other mattresses I have in the house with Emma mattresses, such as here in my son Otto's room. My Emma mattress really did help improve the quality and duration of my sleep, so I was delighted when they asked me to test out this new Emma Divan bed. Regular readers will know that I'm not the greatest at practical things, but it was dead easy to put together, very fast, and these integrated drawers are magnificent for storing kids' toys and other stuff that we have cluttering up our luxury pad. The best bit about getting a new mattress from Emma Sleep is that you get a good night's sleep, but the second best bit is watching the mattress slowly expand over time after you first unpack it. Ooh, it's magic. If you fancy improving your sleep and getting a lovely mattress just like mine, then you're in luck. Because I've got a cheeky little offer for you. If you click on the link in the description and use the code Robbie at the checkout, you're going to get 50% off, plus a little extra discount on top of that. So for this mattress here, instead of paying £759, you're only going to pay £361. And for this divan bed, the original price is £1,090, but you'll pay just £518. So click the link in the description, use code Robbie at the checkout, and get yourself a better night's sleep. Cheers, Emma. After reading the book, the first thing I did was write down what my morning routine was at the time. What I did, there wasn't a formal routine, just what I did after waking up. And this is what it was. I'd wake up and lie in bed looking at my phone for anything between 5 minutes and an hour. Then I'd go to the toilet, walk downstairs, pop on Radio 4, feed the cats, and make a pot of coffee. I then often play a bit of the awesome mobile phone game Battle Cats, and then just do whatever. What the author James Clear suggests you do is go through and analyse everything that you do in the morning and work out whether it's a good habit or a bad habit or something in between. For me, after waking up, lying in bed on my phone for a while isn't particularly useful. It's just can't be bothered to get up. So I'm putting that down as a bad habit. Going to the toilet is neutral, it just needs to be done, as does going downstairs. Now, putting on Radio 4 is a weird one because I think it's quite useful to have an understanding of what's going on in the world, but I don't necessarily think over the last few years the news has made me particularly happy. In fact, a few years ago, just before the pandemic, I stopped listening to the news, and I think it was quite nice, if I'm totally honest. So I'm going to put down Listen to the Today programme as a negative. Cats need food, that's an easy one, that's a positive. I love coffee, it helps me kickstart my day, so for me I'm going to put that down as a habit that I want to keep. I enjoy playing Battle Cats, but it doesn't particularly enhance my life. I can play it loads of other times, so I put that down as a bad habit. The next stage of improving your habits is to work out what little changes you're going to make and just slot them in to your existing schedule. For the first few days, all I changed was I decided that when I woke up in the morning and I decided I wasn't going back to sleep, I was awake for the day, rather than going on my phone and looking at Instagram or the news or whatever, I would just count to 10, and on 10, get out of bed. And that was literally the only thing I changed for the first few days. After I got used to that, I just started slotting in other things. I like to keep an eye on my health and see how I'm doing. So I decided after my traditional morning wee of a morning, I would then weigh myself every day. So I've got a record of that, rather than just sporadically weighing myself as I was doing before. I then come downstairs, feed the cats and make coffees before, but I wouldn't put on Radio 4, I'd put on some music or a podcast or something that was going to make me a bit cheerier about the world. After a little while, I found I was getting quite into it. I think if you introduce things slowly and you see them stick and you see that you're doing it every single day and it's helping your life in even the slightest way, you try and find new places you can fit stuff in. When I make my coffee, it takes a few minutes for the kettle to boil. I like having a tidy kitchen. I like cooking and I like having everything in place when I get there. So I thought I can use the time while the kettle boils to empty the dishwasher, and that's what I do by default now. I will, as soon as the kettle goes on, bang it, empty dishwasher. Just another thing done. Satisfying. Since April, I've been trying to improve my French by doing a little bit of Duolingo every day, and I found that when I have my coffee, that's sort of dead time. So when I sit down with my coffee, I'll have a go of Duolingo, and that slots in nicely as well. The biggest change it's made though is in my sort of exercising and my fitness. I try and do a fair bit of running and other exercise, but what I would do is I'd just slot them in wherever I could, and some days it just means you can't, or you sort of forget, or you get towards the end of the day and you haven't done it. Whereas I thought, you know what, after I have my coffee, I'm going to do some exercise. I'm either going to go for a run, go to the gym, even if I'm having a rest day, do a bit of stretching, a bit of yoga or something in front of a YouTube video. But I thought, that's it, I will do that then and stick with it. And I have. After exercising, it's time to have a shower and get dressed. I'll have a hot shower, then turn it cold at the end to get that little Wim Hof thing going on. And then it's time to start the day. Morning routine, done. What I've noticed, an unexpected thing, is that once you start doing this for like your mornings, it sort of bleeds into other parts of the day. If I'm going to have coffee in the morning and have everything there, I need to have it all in place ready. So whereas before I might have left the dishes to do in the morning, now before I go to bed, I'm sort of starting a routine there where I'll go and fill the dishwasher, clean the sides, get the cat food out ready for the next morning. So it sort of just starts to expand during the day. And once you get into setting these habits and setting routines up, I think it's quite easy to maintain. And it's been quite a few months now and I've not stopped doing it yet. It's definitely having a positive impact on me. The most noticeable bit and the most easy to track is health and fitness. Last week I ran 27 miles, which is a lot more than I was doing before, just because I wasn't missing runs, because I was saying, right, I'm gonna do it at this time. I've also, in the last 7 days, I've been to the gym 4 times, which is unusual for me. So you definitely sort of notice the benefits of it. I also feel a bit happy. I think I sleep better knowing that the kitchen's done and everything's in its place. I don't know, it's quite hard to explain. I just feel a bit calmer, not particularly high stress anyway, but feel a little bit calmer knowing everything's done and you're ready to go to sleep. Now you may well be completely happy with your habits and your routines and all that, in which case you've probably switched off by now anyway. And I do not blame you, but I just thought I'd make this video because of how much of an impact it's had on my life, trying to sort of get habits in place. I thought it might be beneficial to some of you, might not be, who knows. There's obviously a lot more in the book. I've just given you a sort of like rough guide to it. There's more detailed stuff about how to sort out bad habits and things like that as well, but I just thought this might be of interest. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to Emma Sleep for sponsoring the video. Don't forget, use code Robbie for a cheeky little discount. Link down there. Cheerio, see you soon.